We are live, David. So you have to
Hey, if you
swallow
say
that
so.
water you just took a chug of.
Mhm.
And of course, we're not stressing out here at the Disney Crush that our special guest Mandie Malinoski's late. We're just relaxing, chilling. We're kind of used to her being
From
late.
W
So-
from WKRP 93.4 FM. This is Smooth Jazz.
Ah. So we have 6 viewers that are here, but our special guest Mandie isn't here yet. So hopefully
Okay,
she'll
well, let's
get
say hi to him.
here.
Hi, Uli. Uli's
Hi,
here. Elizabeth,
Uli.
what's up? Rachel,
Hi,
what's up, Uli?
Elizabeth. Hi, Rachel. We're going to talk about our VIP tour. Mandy's going to come on. I have faith in her and tell us about what it takes to book one and what you can expect to pay. And hi, Facebook user Rachel Miller. We missed you on our VIP tour. Hello, Beth. So, and Uli was on the tour, so she may see a few pictures of herself tonight.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a good thing she was on the tour because if
Full
she hadn't been on the
disclosure,
tour,
if you were on the tour, you may be in the video tonight. So while we're
yeah.
waiting for Mandie, let's play our intro. So maybe, oh Jenna, I'm glad you like the backgrounds because I just had to change that one like 5 minutes before we came on. I was standing in the background modeling with the green screen to David because I couldn't get my green screen to look right.
Yeah,
So
she
we just had
was.
to change. Mandie just messaged me saying she's coming right now. So I believe in her. And I was thinking, I was just watching that intro and wondering if we should put some new footage from G3 in there. But it
Okay.
took you like 2 years to get that intro. And I'm
It
still
did.
working on my G3 retrospectives, because Kurt comes first, Dave, right? So,
Absolutely.
so
Him and Bill and all them from Mickey
and my
Mouse
monorail tail shirt.
and yeah, Monorail Tales, all them guys. Everybody but me in the Disney Crush. That's okay. Hey, it's all right. I'll just keep sitting back here editing and stuff.
So we're going to be on a upcoming episode of Monorail Tales that's coming up. I think Sheila said it's coming out next Tuesday, so a week from today. So when it comes out, we'll share that, and you guys can listen to us. The
Hey,
topic was my state in if Epcot made a pavilion with my state. So we did Florida, and Bill and Annette did New Jersey, and Jeff and Carly from the Disney Ducks podcast did Ohio. So you'll have to see who won.
yeah.
You'll have to watch. Hi, Dan. Dan is at Boulder Ridge this week with his family. And I watched the Austin Family Adventures go to the little Amish shops this week. We all watched them on Sunday and or Saturday, was it? We were watching it together. Samantha had her cup of coffee and Holly had her cup of coffee. So
Well,
hi, Scott.
they're whooping it up in Disney World.
Lucky. So, anyway, David, we're going to talk about the VIP tour tonight. Hopefully, Mandie will be here any minute. Deirdre, your name does show up. I was sad Deirdre couldn't be on the tour. Did you see Bryson Bond in the beginning of that video? That just made me realize how special he is to us. We had a good time on the VIP tour. Where did you get the opening music from? That is royalty-free music. YouTube has a whole catalog of music. If you're making a video, you can go and you could like type in the mood you're trying to get. And YouTube has a bunch of songs royalty-free that won't ding you. Like, you know, when I make the videos and Facebook says that I can't play them. So,
what's up, Jeff? Opolka?
The Opolkas were at Disney for spring break too.
No, they're always there.
Let me just. Well, they were at the Swan. They stayed at the Swan and tried some new restaurants and some fun stuff. So let me just start at the beginning. When we were planning G3, Mandie had said to me, "I think I'm going to book a VIP tour," and I said, well, what's that going to run you? And she said, no, I'm going to share the tour. I'm going to get a tour and I'm going to go on Facebook. And I didn't know this. You can go on Facebook and there are groups. They're VIP tour share groups where you can try to match yourself up with strangers. And that's what she was going to do. She was going to match herself up with strangers. And I was like, Mandie, why are you going to do a tour with strangers when there's like 100 of us at Walt Disney World? I'm sure you could find 10 people to go on a tour with you. So we kind of put the word out. The first time we put the word out, we had 20 people say, yes, we want to do it. So she said, we had booked the tour for 20 people. And she said, I wonder if we could get another 10. So she put out got us put on the waiting list. I'm going to pull her in now. Hopefully her audio works. Hi, Mandie.
Hi, guys. My audio is working, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I did it
today. We just can't see that beautiful face. There it is.
There's your face.
I'm trying. This is a lot for me. I'm not a podcaster, but I'm trying.
You're good.
Come on, you've been doing it with us for so long.
I know. I've been doing this with you for a little bit now.
So tell us about, we were just talking about when you told me you were going to do the tour and when you first told me you were going to do a share with strangers. And I said, we have 100 people. I'm sure we could find 10 people.
Yes, you definitely told me that. But I just wasn't sure who would be interested because of the itinerary. And I don't really get it too heavily involved with G3 planning. Mm-hmm. I pay attention to things, but I kind of pop in where I want and see a lot. Often I have family with me. Like I'm never just by myself. So it's hard for me to do everything.
Right.
But I did find this wonderful group on Facebook that I'm very active in, and I love like watching it and being in it. And it's all about VIP tour share. And it's people who do VIP tours and they like to share them. They'll book one. And then like, say they're a party of 4, they'll find 6 other people to join the VIP. It makes it very economical. It makes it totally doable for a mom, like me with kids. I mean, is it a luxury? Absolutely. But now it's not $5,000 on me. I'm just responsible for me and my littles to do this. And you pair up with people with like-minded itineraries. So me with Cam and Avery is going to go with another family with children that age, where I'm not going to go with like a different kind of group of people. Right. What was nice about G3 was that even though we had kids, even though we had adults, it was all people who wanted to do the same thing. And everybody was pretty much able to do everything, with the exclusion of, I think there was like 3 rides on the itinerary that Avery couldn't do. And to be honest with you, like Rock and Roller Coaster, and there was people who weren't doing it anyway. So she just hung out for a minute.
Yeah. And as Kevin alluded to on the Geek and Podcast, Space Mountain was on our itinerary, but when we all got in the vans, our guide said, who want? I said, I'm not riding Space Mountain. And you said, I'm not riding Space Mountain. So he like messaged the other vans to find out how many people out of the 30 actually wanted to ride Space Mountain.
It
was 6.
I was sitting up with Aussie Dave, our guide. I'm going to call him Aussie Dave because we have the, infamous Dave over here. So I don't want to confuse anyone. I'm sitting up there talking to Aussie Dave, and I'm saying, like, when we get to Magic Kingdom, this is what I have on my list. Because when you do a VIP tour, you tell them what you want to do and they make it happen. That's the difference of what people think that they do the itinerary planning for you. Not really. It's more about, what do you want to do? What do I need to make happen for you?
Right.
And then they do the best to make that happen, and make it go as smoothly as possible. So I had developed the itinerary for that. I had done polls in our group and came up with a ride list, and Space Mountain was always on the list because in the initial chat, it was in the comments.
Right.
Then when we were actually going over what to do in Magic Kingdom, I forget who was sitting next to me. It was Kevin, I think. He was like, well, I'm not going to ride that. My back's not going to be okay.
Right.
And I was like, oh. And then I think Glenn was the second one to be like, yeah, I'm not going to ride that. And then I said to myself, well, if Glenn's not going to ride this, Glenn, like, who's going to ride this? And I asked the van, and everybody in the van, pretty much with the exclusion of Cam, was like, yeah, I'm not going to ride this.
Right.
And I said, well, if they're not going to ride this, then maybe we should be doing something different, because we can fit in like Pirates of the Caribbean or Jungle Cruise and do something, that everybody wants to do.
Right.
And then Ozzy called the other vans, got their census on it, and nobody wanted to do it. So we did something else.
Kevin. So let's talk about.
I'm not blaming you. You're the one who pointed out no one wanted to do it.
Right. So let's talk about what it costs and when you book it. So this is a price list for May that I got. Yeah. So you'll see the prices range in May from $425 is the lowest, and $775 in May is the highest. But I think it goes up to $850 an hour. This is
the least amount is $425. The highest is $850, and that is for the upcoming year and what I've seen last year. That may change. They can change them every year. The new lists, they come out. It's not every month that comes out at a time. Like, they released all through the summer last time. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sporadic, but they released the let's just say, for sake of conversation, quarterly. They're releasing the prices or whatever. Similar to like a dessert party. They go out so far, they might not meet dining exactly, but they try to go out as far as they can and a little bit more, because with this, before you're going to book it, you're going to be calling them or having your travel agent call them, because they're going to need to get pricing for you for your dates. Right under you go. You're going to need to get pricing for it, see different, like what parks are better for what days and things like that. So there's some pre-planning before you actually book this, and you need to be a little flexible. So I always say you have to have plan A, plan B, and plan C when you're going to do a VIP tour.
And this is per hour. So it's $425 per hour to $850 per hour. And there's a minimum of 7 hours that you have to agree to.
Yes, they're going to charge you a minimum of 7 hours, and you can have a maximum of 10 people. And that 10 people is a hard 10 people. Like, if you have an infant that's 11, you're getting a second tour guide.
Right. So, and that price is per tour group. It's not $425 an hour per person. It's $425 an hour for up to 10 people. So that's why it behooves you to have a full group, because it's cheaper per person if you have 10 people than if you have 4 people. So, so you can book this at 60 days out or
yeah, you book it at 60 days out. They open a little bit later, 9 a.m. So they don't open at the crack of dawn like the rest. It's signature services that you book it through. If you have a travel agent, they can absolutely book it for you. I think that it behooves you to use a travel agent who's knowledgeable in them, because the itinerary building component of it, that can give you an itinerary where you really get some good bang for your buck, because you can do this several different ways. They can pick you up at the resort. You can meet them in the park. You can go in the afternoon and have fireworks viewing at the end. If you time it correctly, you can be at fireworks viewing for both Magic Kingdom and Epcot on the same tour. There's different things you can do. So if you have some experience with it, it's definitely helpful.
Okay. So that was why people were wondering why Kevin was the lead on our tour. It was because Kevin was coming so much earlier than the rest of us that you booked you booked a tour under his reservation.
I took a census of everybody's check-in date, and
Mhm.
Kevin was the chicken, the winner chicken dinner, because he
Right.
was checking in so early. So he got to
Right.
be the number one guest. And
Right. And that's why he got the thank you card, because everybody was like, why did Kevin get a thank you card? Because Kevin was the lead guest. So
Yeah.
Kevin got
it's
the thank you
Kevin's
card.
reservation that allowed us to get that date, which sold out in seconds, by the way, that date.
So tell me a little bit about, before you came on, we were talking about, we quickly got 20 people, and you said to me, do you think I should put us on a wait list for another 10? And you did. So tell me about the wait. So if you don't get in if you call and they say, no, we don't have any more tour guides available that day.
Yeah. So an interesting thing, and it's one of the only things in Disney you can get on a wait list for. If you don't get on for your day, they'll take a certain amount of people, and that number is not disclosed. So I don't know what that number is, but they'll take a certain amount of people and they'll put you on a wait list, and it goes in order. So like you're number 1, 2, whatever. And then as people cancel them, they will give those to you. They will call each one down the line. And you basically, like when they called me, they were like, look, you can check with your 10 people, but you really have like a few hours to call me back before I'm going to move on to the next person.
And let me tell you, we had 10 more people in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, you definitely can. And it can be misunderstood that when you have that many people that it's going to slow you down or make the tour go slower. I don't want people to be afraid to fill the tours up, because actually when you get the more guides you have taking you around, the faster you're going to get through what you need to get through, because they're going to have multiple guides to do different things. One's going to go to the next ride. One's going to be on the ride with you. One's going to go and hold the van or move this or do that. They have a team to help them. Whereas if you're by yourself with that guide's doing everything. So if you have more than 10 people, if you have 20 people, if you have 30 people, I wouldn't get too
big.
Yeah, I wouldn't get like 60. Okay, now this is like getting silly. But 30 could work. I would even go maybe 40, depending on the itinerary, but you can do it. And the teamwork with those guides is going to actually get, a lot done.
Right. Because one, like you said, one ran ahead and talked to the ride operators while the other one was getting us water, and the other one was with us, keeping us together. So
I really think that we got Remy, that we got churros, that we got Mickey Pops, that we got waters as much as we did, because they had extra hands to go do all that stuff. So of course they could pixie dust and make it fun, because they didn't have to do everything by themselves.
Yeah,
right.
Aussie Dave was really the lead, but you could tell, but they all worked as a cohesive team together, and it was just flawless. They worked so good together. And
yeah. I think they have a group. The most senior of them will be the lead, and Dave had the most years in the company. He was the one doing it the longest. He actually helped open Signature Services.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about what you get. So if you want to start your tour at your resort, they will pick you up at your resort in a van. We did not do that because we decided that we would maximize our park time by meeting in the park. So we met over by Baseline Tap House.
Yes.
And that worked to our benefit.
Your clock for the 7 hours starts ticking the minute you meet that guide. So if that guide's meeting you at the Grand Floridian and driving you, you're paying for that drive. It's
right. That's within your 7 hours. So it really is to your benefit to start in the park, ready to go. So we also all ate before. Like a bunch of us went to Cape May, a bunch of us went to Hollywood Brown Derby. You guys went to Sci-Fi, so that we could have full bellies, so we didn't have to waste time during the 7 hours eating. Because if you stop to eat, that clock is still ticking. So
So what we did was people had 80 hours prior for lunch, a nice big lunch, and then at the end of the tour, we were notified by the guides to now place your mobile order while we're on our way to the VIP fireworks, and then you'll be able to pick it up right away when you're done. and have your dinner. Plus, they brought us snacks along the way to hold us over. Some churros, some Mickey Pops, some pretzels, you know, or you could have a Mickey ice cream sandwich. You know, they did it nice. So it worked out well.
Can you speak to Judy's question here about the scooter?
You know, they will accommodate Judy. Their vans also hold the scooter. You know, and I don't think that it would slow you down really, honestly, that much, because it would be them taking you from point A to point B just as if you were going there. And then any place that you needed to put it in the vehicle, their vans accommodate you.
I did see a tour at the boardwalk, and somebody was loading a scooter onto the back of the van. So, all right. So we met them at Baseline Tap House, and those are our 3 guides: Dave and Kelsey and Melissa. Was it Rebecca? Oh, sorry. And yeah, Avery had a little VIP dress on, so they were kind of excited to see her because she was wearing the same pattern fabric as their vests. So she had on the VIP plaid.
Yes.
And right away we took a picture. They were big on taking group pictures.
Yeah.
And this spot right here, I think, is a good spot for G3 to take a picture in front of these walls.
Yeah, Dave knew all the good spots for the picture. They're funny how they do those pictures too. They have you line up. They are all about business. That picture is taken within like 15 seconds, done, out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't mess around. He was on it.
And he took the pictures, and then at the end of the night, he airdropped them to everybody. Yeah. So
everybody got an airdrop, and he took a lot of pictures, like 100, right? 110, 180.
Something like that. We went straight to Rise of the Resistance, and we did. You know, people ask, do you go in the lightning lanes? Do you go back? Do you get backdoored? We did go in the lightning lanes for most things. There were a couple rides they took us to. I think Toy Story Mania, we went in another way, and Haunted Mansion, we went in the back way. Yeah.
It depends on. So while they haven't like explicitly told me this, with my experience in it and talking to different people and all the ones that I've planned and booked and talking to the clients, it depends how long the lightning lane wait is. If it's under a certain threshold, they'll go ahead and put you in it. If it's over that threshold, they'll talk to the ride operator and take you in the back door.
Okay. Who was sitting with Cam in this picture?
Avery is next to him, and I'm over there too, but my head is behind Michael's head.
Oh, okay.
And that's good because that ride makes me cry, which is so funny to some people. But I literally like cry every time. Cam gets so embarrassed. Like, why are you crying?
So let me just tell you about this picture. There were other people in the line with us, and the guide said, our group, stay here, stay in this room. And they pushed everybody else through, and they stopped so we could take this picture.
Awesome.
So, and we all, it's hard to even see us with those masks on, but.
Well, and it's funny is like a couple of days after we left, you don't have to wear the mask.
We dropped them, yeah. And some of our flatty friends came on the tour too, which is nice. Susan, we'll get you the pictures. We have the pictures. We'll share them with you. Then we went over to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And a bunch of us said we wanted to try to do the Wookiee mode. It didn't work in our car. Michael touched a button right away.
I'm pretty sure we had the Wookiee mode because it was like Chewie the whole time.
Oh, good. Yeah, we asked, and our ride operator was going to help us. And then Michael touched a button and he said, "I'm sorry, he touched something. You can't do it. It's done." So, and then we headed to Toy Story Land, and we got in line for Slinky Dog.
Yeah, and we did Slinky Dog, and then we did Mania after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good picture.
There's pictures. I got pictures of everyone. Dave, I can't believe somebody else got to sit with Veronica. Some strangers got to sit with Veronica.
I know. They got to hear all that screaming and hollering and that cackle she has.
So you might recognize some of these faces.
Yes. That was so fun.
Yeah. There you are.
Yeah, there I am.
And then we went to Mania.
Yes.
So we headed over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Mm-hmm.
And right before we got on the ride, the tour guides asked us, "Do you want a churro or a pretzel?" And we raised our hand. 10 people wanted this and 10 people wanted that. And so when we got off the ride, there were churros and pretzels waiting for us, which was nice.
Yeah.
Aw.
They took whatever count it was, and then they added like 3 on, because I know Cam had more than his fair share.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which they must be prepared for, because
Yeah, because people change their minds. And
Those
stuff.
aren't flattering pictures of us eating.
I know,
by
we're
the
all
way.
eating.
some live action.
I can tell this picture was taken on my iPhone 7 because it has that hazy corner, which I started to get toward. That's one of the reasons why I got a new camera, because all my pictures were coming out this hazy corner. And I have to say about the treats, we got water at Millennium Falcon. I forgot to say that. We got those cool Star Wars waters.
Mhm.
I've been on a lot of different Facebook VIP groups, and your mileage may vary with that. It really does depend on your guide and the day.
That's what I was saying before, Tony. I feel like we got a lot of that pixie dust because they were a team. So they could do things like that. When it's just the one of them and you're running behind, or you're not going to get as much done, they're not going to stop to get you a Mickey Pop. They're going to keep trying to get you on rides.
Right. We headed over to Rock and Roller Coaster, and I was the star.
You were.
Yes.
I feel like there are enough kids in our groups we could put together an epic tour.
Yes.
That's one of Mandie's dreams.
That's what I want to do. No, I want like a bunch of like all the kids,
Yeah. And then we headed over to Tower of Terror.
A lot of people asked me when I was going to take the kids on this tour, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're going to take your kids on this tour? You're going to pay for that for them to do it?" And I'm like, my kids are Disney junkies. Like, Cam is beyond excited to do this. And he had so many questions. He got to go backstage, and he was like, "Oh, I'm backstage." And he was like asking Dave all these questions about like, what's that? And what's this? And now he'll talk about it. And he's like talking to Chris the other day, and he's like, "Do you know the proximity of Starbucks and Tomorrowland is really like 100 feet?" And I was like, of course I'm going to take like if your kid's a Disney junkie, like, yeah, this is absolutely worth doing with them. Avery loved it. She felt like a princess. She got to do whatever she wanted.
And throughout the tour, they did give us little tidbits, little nuggets of knowledge. When we were over here, one of the tour guides told me that Audrey Hepburn did not have her hands in concrete in front of the Chinese theater, in the front of the real one. Yep. But Disney invited her to do it there at Hollywood Studios. And it wasn't until after that the Chinese theater realized she didn't have her hands in and they invited her, and she said, "No, I've already done it." So she's got them. The only place to see her hands are there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
it's a great piece of trivia.
Mm-hmm. So we had vans waiting for us after we got off Tower Terra to whisk us away to Remy's Ratatouille adventure.
Yeah, we did Rock and Roller Coaster too. Did we say that one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We did that first.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
So they literally took us backstage.
Yes.
Right behind Remy. You would see it when you go over the Skyliner. Right there, right behind Remy. Whisked us onto Remy and whisked us back to the vans.
And they were able to do that because they had 3 guides. If you don't have multiple guides, they're not allowed to park there because that is a fire lane, and they need the vehicles attended. If you do not have a secondary guide, they are going to take you over by the land pavilion or like Soarin'. You're going to come in that way, and then you're going to walk all the way over to Remy.
And then back. So it was to our benefit to have all our tour guides.
That's how that made I'm stuttering. That is how it worked. Like, and that's how the timing worked because we had multiple guides.
Yeah.
So you need at least 2 guides to do that.
So that's all we did in Epcot. We got back in the vans and we ran over to Magic Kingdom, and we talked about that. We you know what else? We had other treats because our brother Kevin provided the people in our van with delicious chocolates.
And Avery ate them all.
I missed out on that one. I wasn't.
Oh, she was covered from head to toe in chocolate, and Kevin's just laughing. He's seeing her covered. He's just like, ha 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 ha.
Johnny, I get that Remy, they are starting to go to screens like Universal. I see that too, Because I even think Mickey and Minnie's a lot like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the screen heavy.
Screens, yeah.
Yeah. And we went to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yes.
And Bob and Josh were on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, apparently. Oh, there's Josh right there.
Oh my God, I can't.
Oh, and Chris got to ride. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
That's the one I got to sit with Aussie Dave on with.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to
These
sit with
guys
the
are
plaid.
crazy. They're so crazy. And we headed from there to Haunted Mansion, where they backdoored us. I didn't realize until I saw these pictures that your wife sat in where is she? There, I had a picture of
she
her.
didn't want to sit with me.
She was with she was in a buggy with 3 people, and you sat alone.
Mm-hmm. No,
I don't know where the picture went. I don't know where the picture. I had the picture, and then this is me being an idiot taking a picture of the picture.
I have a couple of those too, Tony, and I didn't realize what I was doing.
Chris and Lauren and Bob and Josh.
I think that's Karen.
It was so
Bob.
fun having.
It's Karen, Bob, and Josh.
Yeah, the 2 Karen Daves.
Yeah.
And we did ride Big Thunder, and that's the only picture of Big Thunder I have. So
there's another one. I'll have to look for it. I have one of the whole train.
Okay. And when we got off Big Thunder, Aussie Dave said, "We have time to ride Pirates."
Yeah.
So we rode Pirates.
So we rode it.
Yep. And that was it. The 7:45. So the tour
and Rebecca. Okay.
Okay. The tour went from 12:45 to 7:45. The fireworks were at 8. They escorted us to a VIP viewing area, which is kind of in front of Casey's, the grassy area in front of Casey's. And we had a spectacular view of the fireworks. They again asked us, did you want a Mickey a bar or a sandwich? And there was ice cream and water waiting for us there.
Lots of water, to the point where like there was multiple bottles of water per person.
Yeah.
It was like 4 big bags of the tall Dasani waters.
Right. And they did encourage us, if you wanted to do a mobile order at Casey's if you were starving. And that was the night that Dave ate the veggie dog.
So, did you
like it? Oh my gosh, it was really good. Opinion? I did. I actually enjoyed it. It was really good. Samantha got it for me, and because I've been talking about it, and she
castle right there.
Yeah.
She just came out and said, "Here," and I tried it, and I would have done another one. It was that good.
And before the fireworks, we did have time for one more group picture, which was awesome. That was the picture where I noticed that Ben Chesler had been with us all along, because he's advertising for the Disney Crush. So you can see that area. There's not a lot of people in that area, and that's basically how it was. I mean, there was a lot of room to spread out.
Yeah, and that area is explicitly for VIP tours.
Right.
Adjacent to it is the other part of the quad. Then that's the Plaza Garden party.
Yeah. And this picture was taken with my iPhone 7, so I'm sure now with my new phone, my fireworks pictures will be spectacular. But we did get a special surprise. We got a 50th anniversary VIP tour pin. It's my understanding there's several of these pins. There's one with Mickey's head. There's one with Minnie ears. There's one with Goofy ears. So there are actually people that collect the different VIP pins. I guess you need the luxury of going on multiple VIP tours to get it. Lauren wants to do it just for that fireworks viewing alone.
When you couple the itinerary with the fireworks viewing, you are adding an extra value to the ticket but to the tour that you purchased, because fireworks viewing at minimum is $100.
Right.
To have that spot. And, granted, it's not a dessert party, but they brought us, desserts. We probably do that. I saw almost every VIP tour guide in the VIP viewing spot bringing ice cream bars.
Right. So, right. Well, I don't think they would bring our group ice cream bars and not like the other people see us eating ice cream. And so I think probably everybody at least gets the ice cream.
I mean, I don't know because it depends on your tour guide, but I mean, our group was 30 people, but at the same time, you know, I saw each tour guide I saw that one other tour guide also carrying food. That's another thing we should talk about that our VIP tour guide didn't do, but another one may do for you. And I know it has done it for several other people I know. They will go and get your mobile orders. They will, you know, go and get you food while you're waiting or expedite those kind of things for you. And that's another one like Tony was talking about with the mileage may vary. It depends on your guide. It's their own prerogative.
Right.
The concierge. So they have different ways of doing it and different things that they do to make it special. What one may do, another might not. And if you do start to do this like multiple times, you will find a preference and you can request who you want.
Right. And we did. We requested 3 guides and we got one of the 3 we requested. So
yes, we got
again,
we got the most important one.
Yeah. You can request, but there's no guarantee. Now, Tori Hunt had spoken about her tour guide, Matthew, had done just that. She mobile ordered the lunch and he actually went down the utilidor and came out someplace else very close and then went back and quickly brought her lunch for her family. But that is
your mileage might vary. It's part of their service. They're all different.
Right. It depends on the day and the guide and what they're willing to do and what they and what they can do that day. So again, Johnny, it wasn't a fireworks cruise or VIP fireworks party. It was just a special area on the grass that is set aside just for the VIP people. And I know they have a similar area at Epcot that is set aside just for the VIP tours. And it is included, but it's not like a so it is included, but it's not a cruise or anything like that.
It's included, but what you need to know is you need to work it into your 7 hours. If you end your 7 hours at firework viewing time not in the right way, they'll charge you that additional time.
Right.
The way we ended it, the time was including the fireworks.
Right. We went from 12:45 to 7:45, so our tour ended in the fireworks viewing area.
And they left us there, hands up. Like the minute they leave you is the minute the clock stops. But if they have to stay with you through the fireworks viewing, now you're paying for them to be there.
And some people do pay another. Some people want to be taken back to their hotel in the van. That's your prerogative. You have to figure out how, because is there a maximum number of hours?
Right now it's 10 hours. It used to be 12, but right now it's 10. But there are some people like that. For instance, that night was extra magic hours at Epcot and Magic Kingdom. There are people who want to stay and want the guy to take them. Even though it's magic hours, they don't want to wait. They want it to take them.
Right. So, and you can do that. It's, between 7 and 10 hours. You can use those hours however you want. Some people go and have table service meals. I wouldn't. Veronica and I talk about the time that we got bumped by a VIP tour group at Oga's because they wanted to go to Oga's with their VIP. And that 45 minutes you're in Oga's, you're paying. So on top of the expensive drinks, you're paying $400 to $800.
I had a family who booked VIP tours for their week, for their stay. They did 3 of the 5 park days with tours or whatever. And they insisted on table service meals, stops for lunch, and that's what they want. I told them they're paying for it, but that's what they want. Some people want it. That some people like that they don't have to have a reservation, and now they can eat at the coveted, Be Our Guest or Space 220 or whatever.
And they will work their magic to try to get you into those hard to get places, right?
Yeah, they highly recommend you get a reservation, and if you call them, they're going to tell you you got to get a reservation. But the guides always go up to the maitre d' and ask. I've never had them not do it.
Okay.
Well, I think the way that we did it was perfect. Ending in the fireworks, the way you planned it, Mandie, it was just perfect.
If anybody asked me my tips for it, it would be don't do any table service. Make sure they're picking you up at the park, like meeting you at the park, not picking you up at the resort. And there are a couple instances where I will change that one, but for the most part, it's always in the park. And then do it not early in the morning. Do it in the later afternoon, the 1:45, 2:45 sweet spot, and end it with the fireworks. And if you can do both Epcot and Magic Kingdom, because it can be a lot. I felt like it was too much for us to do both fireworks. But if you can, have them drive you over and do both fireworks.
And yeah, I've heard of people doing that where they'll start a little bit later and they'll do the Magic Kingdom, the enchantment fireworks.
Right.
Then they hop in the van, go to Epcot, and watch Harmonious in the VIP tour.
I've had people do it where they do the mobile order and they eat their dinner at the Magic Kingdom enchantment fireworks and then go over to the Epcot ones.
Yeah.
It works.
It's how you want to do it. It's up to you.
I think it was perfect, and I don't think there was a dry eye in our crowd.
No.
All of us, I think every single one of us was in tears.
And keep in mind certain things too. Like when you're planning it, you got to take into account like how long rides take. Like we were going to do Splash Mountain, but the fact that Splash Mountain was being refurbed, we could go to Epcot. That's how long it takes.
Right. 13-minute that ride is, and then you have the time in the line on top of that.
I wanted it because it's so nostalgic for so many in our group and we love it so much. But like some other people that, might not, I would take it out because it's such a time suck.
So let's talk about the big question everybody wants to know about is when in my groups, the Facebook groups for the VIP tours, everybody always asks about tipping your tour guide. Oh, Kevin. Yes, Kevin, we all know you didn't cry.
It's extremely personal. Right. I think too, it depends on level of service, who you get, And the other thing to keep in mind too is like the time of year. I would tip a guide more in December at peak week in Christmas,
right, when it's crazy busy.
February, and it's not because. It's just because they're doing more work. There's more crowd to go around. It's
right.
more difficult.
The logistics.
The
logistics is harder, yeah.
I tend to stick with the golden rule, though. 1 hour. Whatever your cost of your hour was, that's the tip.
Right. For the guy, not per person. One. So like, right. So like if it's right. So like, right. So our group figured out what that was and we kind of made our own decision what we tipped. And I'm sure some of us tip more than others. So
yeah,
Scott is banned. So we did 12 hours plus the fireworks in 7 hours in 3 parks in 7 hours.
12 rides plus the fireworks plus the snacks in 7 hours.
Right, and a couple of bathroom breaks. So
I think bathroom breaks.
I think we did good. So I have to tell you, I was beat. That the pace was kind of grueling for me. I had a bum knee that week, and I don't know that I would do it again in that capacity. I don't know that I would do it again at that this pace. Yeah. I'll be honest with you.
That particular one with that particular pace was because I knew in the group we wanted to do as much as we could with the majority of the census was to get as many rides in, as big tickets as we could. And that's what that itinerary really is about. I want to do another one, but I want to do like a Magic Kingdom centric one where maybe you do, maybe you start at Flight of Passage and then go to Magic Kingdom per se. Like I'm giving you like a quick,
right.
But more focused on like them telling you like the history of stuff and taking you on the rides and pointing things out. Like I want to do something like that where you maybe do all of Magic Kingdom. That would be fun to do with the kids, like something like that. I also want to do a Hollywood Studios one where you like really do everything in Hollywood Studios, because every time I go to Hollywood Studios lately, it's pissing me.
It's okay.
Be upset with all the long lines.
Yeah. So, oh shoot! It just went out of my head what I was going to ask you. I had it,
but I can agree. I don't know that every tour I would ever do, Tony, would be like
that pace.
That militant.
Yeah. It was helpful that we all knew we were going to. The guide said Slinky Dog next, and we all headed there. They didn't have to. That's true. We all know the parks, the people that were with us. So there was a lot less of corralling us. We all just kind of headed that way. Yeah. And we stuck together, and we kind of, knew if somebody was missing, we had each other's backs.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tony. I agree with Toni-Ann about the pace. But I think for me, and I think for all of us, it was just that we were all together and experienced it together with so many friends. That's
Yeah.
what made it so special.
Yeah.
You know?
The other thing is, it was nice. Like, I think Chris Futrell said to me, it was not that day made up for the fact that the rest of G3, he didn't ride anything because we were all socializing. So that people talk about, I'm going and I don't want to go home exhausted. If you did a VIP tour one day and got the big headliners out of the way, the rest of your trip, you could relax and just ride whatever the mood strikes you, or not, or have a nice relaxing lunch, or go to the spa, or lay by the pool and not worry about, oh, I didn't get to ride Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
Well, that was the case with Uli, because she got to go on the tour, but she said that after that was done, they didn't ride. I think they were there 2 weeks and only rode one ride because the lines were so long. So had she not gone on the tour, she probably would have rode hardly anything while she was there. So
they're great for getting all that stuff out of the way, so you don't really have to worry. I really recommend them. I know it's a more expensive time, but I tend to recommend them in the more crowded times of the year, because if you don't have some kind of tool, you're going to be kind of hanging out and you might miss a lot of stuff with those lines. Like around Christmas, I know they're more expensive, but you get a real bang for your buck because you're on all those rides.
Yeah. So, no, that was the wrong one. I had a picture of you guys on Rock and Roller Coaster. I lost it.
It's really cute.
I don't know where it went. Anyway, can we go back to Elizabeth's question about the parade? She had a question not related to VIP tours, but maybe Mandie could speak to it. Do you know where it is, Dave? Do you have any insight to the lightning lane for the parade?
I don't know that there is a lightning lane.
No, I think it was just announced this week. So I guess the answer is no. Mandie has no insight to the lightning lane for the parade.
Well, today has been a crazy day for me, so give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was just announced like this week. So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. They're doing the same thing that they were doing at Christmas. Is that what they're doing?
I think so. Okay. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the hub right in front of the castle, if I remember correctly. I'll look more into it though, Elizabeth, and I'll post in the Disney Crush what it is.
Cool.
But if it's the same as Christmas, it's the hub right in front of the castle.
Okay. Elizabeth said hi, Michael. He said hey. All right. Kevin said hi, Mike. He's not feeling it tonight. All right. Was there anything else? Any other questions, guys?
Hey.
Michael's here.
Hey.
Well, where can they find you, Mandie?
Oh, they can find me at Mandie at fairytaleconcierge.com, MinnieMouseMama.com, right up there on the screen. And in Facebook, I'm at the Disney Spot. Right.
So we had a great time. Thank you so much for arranging it for us.
No, I love it. It's like a dream come true for me. It's something I always wanted to do.
It really was. Thank you so much. Mandie's got a baseball game to get to, right?
Yeah, my son is playing baseball tonight. He's the catcher, so he's pretty excited.
Ooh, good luck.
Yeah, I know. He's so cute.
Oh,
that'll be exciting.
All right. Yeah. All right, we'll let you go, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mandie.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
We'll get those pictures to you, Susan. And David, podcast coming out?
Podcast will be out tomorrow, and we talk about each of our favorite 2 things to do. If we had to do just 2 things in each of the parks, what would they be?
Okay.
So, yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear it.
It was a spontaneous call. We didn't really have a plan, and we said, let's talk about this. And it was fun. Worked out really good. Had a good time.
Yeah. Dan, one of the things that Mandie talked about in the past with me was maybe doing there used to be a tour for the kids that went around Fantasyland, and she said she'd like to maybe book that for a future G3. Right now it's not being offered, so we'll have to see. tour was amazing.
No, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you, though. The pace was, for someone like us who are annual pass holders and go all the time, and have ridden all the rides all the time,
And we're old.
it's a little different. I just think the best part for us was all the friends that were with us.
The
That
camaraderie.
just made it so much fun, and riding the rides together. Yeah, but I don't know that I would do it again. Honestly.
Yeah.
But if
Oh,
you're,
So what we didn't
ahead.
say at the beginning of the show was, so it was we booked the day, it was $4.25 an hour. It's the cheapest you could get. And that was because it was a Monday. So that it is based on day of the week. So it was the cheapest day. It was $4.25 an hour, and split 10 ways. I think it was about $297 each before the tip. And that's just about as cheap. That's the cheapest you're possibly going to be able to go on a VIP tour. And so that was why, even though it was a lot, I think a lot of us jumped on the opportunity because we weren't going to get to do it any other way. Because that was the cheapest possible way to do it, was on the cheapest possible day with a full tour group. So, yeah.
Yes,
All right.
Johnny, exactly. You can send all your kids on a VIP tour, so moms and dads can hang out and have a few drinks together for 7 hours. Well,
That's something else that I noticed in my groups on Facebook, the VIP groups I join. Like, sometimes the tour guides will push the strollers, they'll and you'll see them in the parks pushing the strollers, and some of them won't. It's just like your mileage may vary. Some tour guides are different and different. They were pushing Avery around for a while in her stroller.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did see them do that.
Mm-hmm. And actually, at one point, I know Ozzy Dave turned to one of the other plaids and said, "Did you get the stroller?" And they said no, and he just took off and went and got it
And went
came
back
back
and
with
got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they very much cater to you and all your needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say enough about the tour guides we had. They were amazing, so professional. They knew just what to do, and I was amazed what we got done. Like, I couldn't believe, that we did all those rides in that short period of time. It flew by, but it was amazing.
Yeah, we had a good day.
That we got so much done.
So I want to thank all you guys that came with us, and I want to thank all of you guys who are watching with us tonight. Thank you for your continued support of the Disney Crush podcast. We love you guys. We thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you guys in the park soon.
Yeah, we can't wait to ride together sometime with you guys.
And Veronica will she'll laugh and cackle and
do yourself a favor and ride that ride with Veronica.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Here's some easy listening from WKRP 93.4. Easy, soft jazz.
Good night.